We have already seen the multitude of contradictions, the extravagant hypotheses which the attributes theology gives to its God must necessarily produce. A being clothed at one time with so many discordant qualities will always be indefinable. They only present a train of ideas which will destroy each other, and he will in consequence remain a being of the imagination. This God has, say they, created the heavens, the earth, and the creatures who inhabit it to manifest his peculiar glory. But a monarch who is superior to all beings, who has neither rivals nor equals in nature, who cannot be compared to any of his creatures, is he susceptible to the desire of glory? Can he fear to be debased or degraded in the eyes of his fellow creatures? Has he occasion for the esteem, the homage, the admiration of men? The God of whom they speak ought to be exempt from this passion. According to theology, he has no fellow creatures. He has no competitors. He cannot be offended with those ideas which we form of him. His power cannot suffer any diminution. Nothing is able to disturb his eternal felicity. Must we not conclude from this that he cannot be either susceptible of desiring glory or sensible to the praises and esteem of men? If this God is jealous of his prerogatives, of his titles, of his rank, and of his glory, wherefore does he suffer that so many men should offend him? Why does he permit so many others to have such unfavorable opinions of him? Why allows he others to have the temerity to refuse him that incense which is so flattering to his pride? How comes he to permit that a mortal like me should dare attack his rights, his titles, and even his existence? It is in order to punish thee, you will say. It is because he has made thee free. Why has he given me liberty, of which he must have foreseen that I should be inclined to make an improper use? Is it then a present worthy of his goodness to give me a faculty that enables me to brave his omnipotence, to detach from him his adorers, and thus render myself eternally miserable? Would it not have been much more advantageous for me never to have been born, or at least to have been placed in the rank of brutes or stones, than to have been, in spite of myself, placed among intelligent beings, there to exercise the fatal power of losing myself without redemption by offending or mistaking the arbiter of my life? Had not God much better have shown his omnipotent goodness, and would he not have labored much more efficaciously to his true glory, if he had obliged me to render him homage and thereby to have merited an ineffable happiness? In short, theology invests its God with the incommunicable privilege of acting contrary to all the laws of nature and of reason, while it is upon his reason, his justice, his wisdom, and his fidelity in the fulfilling his pretended engagements that they are willing to establish the worship which we owe him and the duties of morality. What an ocean of contradictions! A being who can do everything and who owes nothing to anyone, who, in his eternal decrees, can elect or reject, predestined to happiness or to misery, who has the right of making men playthings of his caprice and to afflict them without reason, who could go so far as to even destroy and annihilate the universe. Is he not a tyrant or a demon? Such a God will never be able to make himself beloved by us. When we shall reflect that he owes us nothing, that he has the right of being unjust, that he has the power to punish his creatures for making a bad use of the liberty which he grants them, or for not having had that grace which he has been pleased to refuse them.